Assuming we're all physically, if not emotionally prepared.
I think so.
This is, she says as she yawns. This is, I'm so physically prepared. This is the 37th session, which I think is crazy.
That is crazy.
Last time some stuff happened. I think we've already summed it up kind of like in chat. But for the 1.2 people who may be listening, yeah, you guys were sneaky again, and you managed to backstab that bandit, Philippa Cardigan, who is affiliated with the bandits who did the prison raid in Saltmarsh.
Mm-hmm.
And you murdered her easily. Now, one of her lieutenants had gone off with one of your donkeys on an errand, kind of a bait and switch, like get them out of the way. So Shaefira wasn't with it alone with as many scary people, which was really clever of Shaefira. But unfortunately, you found out that
Sly.
that lieutenant drove his donkey straight to this um, unnatural peach tree.
Very
That
freaky.
when upon its peaches were taken, it revealed that it was actually a living tree and it attacked. So not only did this lieutenant suffer a gnarly fate at the branches of this tree, but one of your donkeys unfortunately got caught in the crossfire. So you're down to one donkey, and I'm not quite sure at this point whose donkey it is. Whose original donkey survived?
I have no idea.
I mean,
No.
it's definitely not Steve's because we know that Steve's donkey got crushed by the boulder. But I'm not sure whether it's Kymir's or Shafira's donkey. I want to say it was Kymir's donkey because I feel like there was some kind of thing. Like at first we thought that I was thinking that the lieutenant drove off. Drove off. You drive a donkey. Yeah, rode off on Shafira's donkey. But I think
I
uh,
can't remember.
I think we left it behind. I'm so confused. But there's one surviving donkey with you. So after kind of defeating everyone you could defeat from this group of bandits, there was also like this whole thing with a giant conch on the beach chasing people, and you kind of like ran away from that because you know why mess with it. And there was this whole thing where it seems like these bandits had gotten double crossed by the spooky, smuggly sailor kind of people that had like that you think Sun Belay is affiliated with, and that spooky elf named Scab was affiliated with. You heard the name Blood Sails, and it seems like they kind of double crossed in where they were supposed to send a ship to pick the bandits up so they could make a getaway. They didn't show up. And you also heard feedback from the bandits that you did talk to in your subterfuge that Scab was last seen getting away using a method-powered jolly boat that had a town insignia registration painted on it. Uh, pooting out of the Saltmarsh docks. So there's a strong suspicion that that was your jolly boat, since your jolly boat is actually registered with the town of Saltmarsh, thanks to Trivet, Steve's sort of sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole thing with a body, but I think the body was more like the session before. That whole like body switcheroo, like who's this body, when did he die, and why is he even here in this cave?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. So you killed a tree, you killed some people, you finally made your way back home to Saltmarsh, back to your house that you kind of took over from a long deceased skeletal alchemist. Or when you last saw him, he was a skeleton and an alchemist. Uh, so you went home with your donkey and you made it as far as the foyer. See that Rocky and Chef Perkins have been busy while you've been off parlaying with lizard folk and rummaging around in ruins. And there's been some modifications, some fixer uppering happening. Some trash has been cleaned out, so it's not so much of a haunted looking dump as it once was. But no sooner than you hung your hat up inside the front door, Dave, the imp that you have humanized, was summoned away by his wizard master because Dave is a familiar, first and foremost. And clutching to Kymir, pleading, I don't want to go, he faded away. And now you're at home. Let's see. You've got about a full day of time until the meeting you kind of called you to with the surviving members of Saltmarsh's town council to kind of formally introduce the lizard folk delegates that you brought back from the Bloodroot tribe. And I guess just talk about what's happening, how none of it's your fault, kind of things. So, how do you spend your day?
Go on, you start.
Well, I don't know. What? No. I guess um, we need to get all them peaches out of Steve's bag before they go funny, and now go find a nice place to put a still to make some peach schnapps.
I have installed a still in the cellars.
Wow.
Ooh.
Let's plop open this map. Oh, I didn't grid it. Sharing. So you see, Rocky comes out to meet you, and you hear Chef Perkins call a hello. Once you've dump all your things in the foyer and stuff, all your adventuring gear, and kind of shake off the dust of the road. And he kind of tours you around some of the changes that he's done. He's put some furniture in. They've cleaned up uh, the storage that the smugglers used to be using for their activities. Like the dead body that was in the wine cellar, that's gone. He assumed you didn't want to keep that.
You seem right.
A lot of the barrels of brandy that were in the caves that the smugglers had left there, as well as some of the bolts of fabric and rugs and things like that that were valuable. Rocky has moved into the cellar for storage. So where the wine cellar before only had broken bottles and no casks, it now has the racks are fairly filled with various vintages, and there's many casks of brandy stacked along the walls. Where there used to be a secret door, Rocky's kind of, you know, thrown off any of the secretive conventions. He's put in a full-fledged door. So where the bandits or where the smugglers used to have their pallets and sleep, he's cleared away some of that. Some of the beds are gone. There's still a bunch of rows of beds there that seem to be abandoned and unused. And the tables are kind of left there in disarray, where Chef Perkins used to serve up his fare. But you see that there's now a shiny new still that has been brought from some part in the town. You don't know where Rocky got it. But once you got home and said, I kind of feel like doing some brewing, he's like, okay, I will make this work. And he came back with a wagon with this big contraption, installed it downstairs. You also found out that Chef Perkins and Rocky have installed their quarters down here, kind of repurposing the rooms where Stan Belay used to sleep. And there used to have the skeletal alchemist used to be kind of locked away. So they've repurposed that, and they're now the staff's bedrooms are down here. Upstairs, you find it's kind of a mixed situation. Been some furniture dragged into the different rooms. Most of the attention has been put on kind of like a living room for just kind of hanging out in front of the fire to the west on the first floor. A bathroom has kind of been installed. And there was a large ornate tub, and Rocky kind of admits embarrassingly that they thought that that was kind of going to be for Kirathana. And he says that she dropped by on her way out of town, and kind of looked around the house and giggled a lot. But she wasn't there for very long. You're not sure if she gathered some of her things or left anything there. And then upstairs, one room has been fully fitted out. Uh, and Rocky says that's because Kymir kind of gave some instructions of wanting some stuff before you guys left. So he's kind of open for input from Shaefira for anything you might want. And then looking at Stiiv, Rocky's like, your shipments arrived. Stiiv doesn't know anything about any shipments. So, what kind of shipments? And Rocky's like, well, your sister showed up with some guys in the caves, and they said they had a bunch of stuff that you totally knew about, and we should find a place to store it. So I put it up in the attic. And Stiiv goes up into the attic, and he finds just pounds and pounds and pounds of fancy rice. And some not so fancy rice. And he kind of disappears up in the attic, and you don't hear from him. And as he's kind of like giving you an absent-minded see you later, he's like, I don't know anything about this, but I think I should keep it. I'm gonna go inventory all the rice now. So you kind of like leave Stiiv to fiddle with his rice up in the attic.
It's amazing what keeps that guy happy.
So that's the quick tour of the status of your home now. Not much has been done outside. You know, there's still kind of like what used to be a garden. There was more rubble before, and Rocky's cleaned that up a little bit. But the garden wall and gate still has gaps in it. It hasn't been fully repaired. There's still some old rose bushes that haven't been cleaned out where a family of giant badgers are living. But the most he's done really is kind of clean out some of the dead plants, and he's put a couple planters of like ferns outside the doors, and that's been about his efforts in terms of growing things.
Okay.
But back to the still. You have a still.
Yes.
Well, I guess you need to create up the peaches you can't put in immediately, and
Well, they'd have to be mashed and for
you know way too much about this.
Watch too much telly. Yeah, so we'd have to put them in a barrel and let them break down and stuff first, wouldn't we?
Okay. I will trust you to know what you're on about.
I've not. I don't know. I'm just making up as I go along, as usual.
There is okay.
Um,
So in terms of barrels, most of the barrels you have at the house right now have brandy in them. The only other barrel I can think of is the barrel of preserving pine, but that's probably not going to help you with fermenting anything.
Hang on. I have rifled through some scrolls and found a how to make peach schnapps.
Is that in your scrolls?
Yeah.
I really meant to Google that before our session, and I got distracted.
That is actually on the header of my scroll. It says Google.
That's a demigod,
Yeah.
or a
Very.
great prophet of the god Denir in the Forgotten Realms.
So you can press them. The appliance separates bones from the rest of the peaches. What the hell, bones?
I think it's the stones.
yeah.
Oh, that's weird. And then you leave them to ferment.
Right, so I need to go shopping for some barrels, or I need to drink a load of brandy so I can.
Right, so drink the brandy so you've got
Yeah.
room to put the peach schnapps. That makes sense. Let's go get some barrels because I need to go to the alchemist anyway.
Rocky raises a finger. He's like, "Oh, I almost forgot. In the cellars, there was that laboratory that the alchemist had. There are a few cauldrons in there.
Ooh.
That'd work if you're clean.
Yeah, we might have to rinse them out. I mean, I gave them one, quick, rinse out just in case there was like blood or poison in them. But you might want to do a deep clean, or I can help because I am your employee.
Let's go check them.
Yeah. Or we could just get him to do that while we go to the alchemist shop for you.
That's true. Okay. Does that mean if the alchemist's room is still there, does that mean all these gear's still there?
There's some little bits and bobs. You looted most of the things that were of value. But
Just
if you
thinking
look,
like vials and
the access to that lab room is still through a secret door that was left secret through Rocky's room. Rocky's room is the one with the blue bed. And there's like 3 cauldrons in there, and there's a couple tables. There are some vials and miscellaneous equipment on top of one of the lab tables. They're dusty. There's a lot of cracked glassware. Most any kind of herbs or anything that the alchemist once used have been long dead and washed away.
Okay, I was thinking more the vials. I figured the herbs and stuff would be dead, and also I'm thinking that there's no point in doing it in there because then I'm gonna have to go through Rocky's room every time I need to get to it. So I'm thinking of getting him to clean out at least one of them cauldrons for Shaefira, and then get him to sort through the vials, any that are okay, wash them out as well, and take them to the room next to my room upstairs.
Okay. Lost my pencils.
Might as well do something with them if we're paying for them, haven't we? Never had staff before. It's exciting.
Have we paid them recently? Do we need to pay them?
They are paid through. I think you have about 2 weeks. Let's look at the calendar.
28th, I think. Yes, 28th, and we're on
You're still
16th.
on the 15th, going on the 16th, and yeah, so a little bit less than 2 weeks from now, their salaries are due.
Okay.
That's something like what, 60 gold? I can't remember. It's in the notes somewhere.
Yeah, I think maybe we should give them a bonus for what they've done with the house.
They might have used up most of the household operating expenses that you provided. I think there was a little bit of extra gold shelled out the last time.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, well, let's do that then. Ask Rocky to clean out a cauldron for Shaefira for the peaches and to sort through the vials. And that workbench as well. Take that workbench upstairs as well, if he can. If it's ridiculously heavy, tell him not to worry about it. But if he can, stick it in the room next to mine.
He'll look with his back, and he'll probably get Chef Perkins to help get it up
Okay.
the stairs.
And we will leave Stiiv to his rice manipulations and go into town. I suppose we could check on Anders while we're at it.
Do we?
All right, maybe not.
Are you still poisoned anyway?
Yeah.
You aren't you?
No, I'm not poisoned. I'm poisonous.
Yeah, he's
you're
poisonous.
cursed. You're cursed. So don't be going anywhere near the peaches or my still or the barrel or the cauldron.
And I will not
too
be
much helping. That's a good excuse to not do any.
Oh yeah.
To skive off making the schnapps.
Kymir is a master of that.
You can only drink it.
I feel like that's some sort of slur on my being.
No.
Right. There we go. That's the plan.
Okay, so we'll update it so that some of the schnapps making equipment will be in the room next to Kymira's.
I'm thinking I might actually bookmark this scroll to keep for later.
I see a new project in our future.
Yeah. This is what we should have been doing instead of trying to make bread during lockdown.
Most definitely. Probably been a damn sight easier, wouldn't it?
Probably.
I'm not sure what Chef Perkins is making in the kitchen. He's making something. But if you've asked him for more bacon.
Yes.
That's for sure. I am out.
And he whips up while you're there. And you've spent a couple hours at home now, so it's the evening time. 6 servings of tasty bacon.
To each head.
So let me add that to your party inventory.
I like how there's an entry for millions of peaches.
I should delete that because those are being used now. I'm not using a new monitor. I'm using a new mouse. So I'm finding
all the new stuff.
I'm so impaired. I'm so awkward at this point. I'm like a baby foal taking its first steps. So Chef Perkins makes 6 servings of tasty bacon for you. He also, while he's cooking all this pork, says he's trying something new, and he presents you with a serving of what he calls tasty ham. It's like bacon, but there's more.
Okay, so is that supposed to do like for more than one person?
No, it's
still
just
for one
slightly
person.
more potent. It's more potent than tasty bacon. There's more meat to it.
Okay.
See how you like that.
Do you want me to take that, or do you want to take it then?
You have the tasty ham because you, obviously, yeah, I'm gonna jinx myself, but you tend to lose your hit points quicker than me, don't you?
Maybe.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we get through a whole session without losing any, and it's like, what?
It's very true.
How do these things happen?
Beats me.
The sun has gone down. So any shops, markets are closed on a Sunday evening. Besides, you know that Monday morning is the busiest time of the markets in Saltmarsh and places of business anyhow. Everybody's busy. And though you're not quite sure what it's going to be like this Monday morning, since Sunday has dealt so many staggering blows to the town of Saltmarsh, between the mudslide in the Stiiv and the raid on the prison. But you figure, knowing how practical the people of Saltmarsh are, they're probably gonna, those who are able are gonna pick up and go about their normal work come Monday.
Okay.
Since you haven't met with the town council yet, it's kind of like fingers crossed that the alchemist isn't dead. Like, let's hope he didn't die in the mudslide. You don't necessarily know everybody in Saltmarsh. Um, and the only names that you definitely know didn't make it were Eleander, Fireborn, some of the Bloomwhifflers. But you know that the mudslide did affect the Stiiv. But that's tomorrow's problem. You have a large dinner.
Does
Chef
that
Perkins is taking requests.
does that count as a long rest then?
It does count as a long rest.
Actually, I don't think I need to worry about it. I think you must
No.
have done that already. Yeah.
So we can ask him what we want for dinner then.
Peach cobbler.
No.
I was going to say roast chicken, but that means that he might go out and kill the chickens in the back garden.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
want
your
him to do
chickens
that.
are still in the back garden. I'm not sure what I did with them.
Have they been laying any eggs? Do we know?
I think they're cozying
Because
up with the badgers.
They've been
Shaefira
running
needs to.
loose. The chickens are in chaos. They've not been organized. There's not a proper little house for them.
Yeah, so we need to get a
They're
chicken coop,
wandered
don't
willy
we?
nilly. Sometimes they're outside. Sometimes Chef Perkins let them in, and you'll find them like sitting on sofas,
I need
sitting
to
at
make a
desk.
shopping list.
Sometimes they're in the library. Pretty much wherever you want to sit, that's where the chickens are. Oh, your donkey. Where's your donkey going to be staying inside the house?
No. That was Steve's problem. He was the one who insisted that we bring the donkey inside the house.
The donkey's still just, living its life in the foyer of your house.
Well, yeah, we need to put it outside so it can eat the grass, don't we?
It tried to go up the stairs, and everyone's like, no, no, no.
Yeah. We should put him out in the garden. You know, if there's a bit of the garden that's all walled in.
Well, it's not completely walled in yet.
Hmm.
That's a potential project you can give Rocky.
Do we think there's enough stone, or do we need stone?
Well, he'll need a little bit of gold for the stone, and any wood to like make or for wood or metal to make gates. If you want
How
it to be
much?
accessible from the outside, if you want to leave it just accessible to the inside, then just stone.
Well, we need it accessible from outside as well, because we don't want to be dragging the donkey through the house every time we want to take it anywhere, do we?
That's a good point. I was thinking of security, but that's also a good point.
Well, we could train the donkey to Eeyore every time somebody tries to get in the gate that shouldn't.
Our own security donkey.
Yeah,
also
donkeys
picturing,
can
like,
be fierce.
You know how there's like dog or cat doors?
Yeah, donkey
Yeah.
door.
Having a donkey door. And that door that's like off the hallway, like toward, like between like the bathroom and or like near the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's what I-
Okay, how much gold does Rocky think he'll need to finish like walling up the garden
Gosh, I
and
should
putting
Google
a
building.
fence?
Well, he's kind of like, depending on how high you want the wall to be and what kind of materials you want to use, it could be maybe 20, 30 gold.
Right, I'm going to chuck him 30 gold. Actually, I'll chuck him 40, and then if there's any left, just use it to stock up on food. sticks, I just knock it off my inventory. I don't actually have to give it to him.
Right.
Right, okay.
So Rocky puts that on his to-do list.
Okay, so
we should maybe get our own wagon if we
okay.
have these kind of like errands very often. I've been borrowing one from Anders, but he hasn't been
That's a
doing
good
so
point.
well lately, and the guards are getting a little bit shirty about it.
I add wagon to my shopping list.
We could get a donkey wagon, you know, a nice wagon that the donkey could use.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Might as well use the donkey while we got the donkey.
Until he gets eaten by someone. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but he's not going to get eaten by something in Saltmarsh, is he?
It depends. Did you
Not
see the
unless
tree?
things get really dire.
No, I agree. I think a wagon that the donkey can pull is a good idea. All right, so
I'm currently researching wagon costs.
So, chicken coop and feed. I need stuff for my herbalism. I want to pick up a wagon to make it easier for the guys to pick up supplies and to use with the donkey. Do you need any furniture or anything for your room? Or do you want to just give Rocky some money to buy furniture for your room?
I will give him some money to buy a bed and a chest of drawers and a wardrobe.
You want any particular color for your sheets?
Maroon.
You need a wardrobe and drawers. You're
I
going
have
to
a lot
hide
of
in them,
stuff.
are you?
And oh, I'd like one of them nice looking rugs that's been stashed down in that cellar, putting in my room as well.
Oh, a nice rug?
Mm,
From the smugglers.
yeah. Might as well use
One
them.
of those like silk rugs. Which room do you want?
Which one is mine,
One,
actually?
Yours is
one,
the one with the brown stuff in it, with the bed and
The one
the
on the
chest
left?
of drawers. Yeah, the one on the left, with the one
Right.
by the fireplace.
Cool. Okay.
It's all gold and brown. It's pretty simple. Not too much flair, kind of reflective of your monk lifestyle.
Yeah. Cool. That one there.
yeah. I'll have the room on the other side because Kymir might be clattering about in the room that he's going to put his alchemist stuff in.
Yeah, because
I don't want to listen to him pounding in his pestle and mortar until.
Oh, I'm really glad you clarified that.
Yeah, so I'll have the one in the middle on the right.
Okay. One of the smaller one that doesn't have a fireplace.
Yeah. No. I'll tell you what, I'll have the one far right with the fireplace.
Okay. I think this is one of the rooms where the floor was busted the last time
That
we were
one.
here, and it's been all
Oh
repaired.
no. Oh, that's all right then.
Okay. I'm really mystified at what the names of your chickens were. I know you named them.
Bert and Ernie.
Were they
Bert and Ernie, yeah.
They were Bert and Ernie, weren't they?
And I'm fairly sure Kerry Flana made them so they were actually female names. In fact, I think that will be in the dramatis personae.
Bertruda the chicken.
Sounds right.
Ernesta or something. No. I can't remember.
Ernestina.
Yeah, Bertruda and Ernestina, the chickens.
I don't know why I have them like unknown. There you go, chicken.
Woohoo!
library, hanging out, reading some books. Poultry Monthly. Chef Perkins, he does a feast and he makes some peach cobbler. Um, he serves you. He didn't have any like chickens on hand. But he does something. He does something that ends up being pretty tasty with goat.
Okay.
It's kind of spicy. Like it doesn't use the spicy syrups, but it uses the peppers that are in the spicy syrup that's so good with the fried squid and waffles.
Mm.
And there's roast potatoes. All the fixins.
Do you know, I've just had food and I'm going to be hungry again now.
So it's a quiet, peaceful evening. You haven't had like this much time of like silence. Because even when you had a couple of days to rest and recuperate when you were uh, doing diplomatic relations with the lizard folk tribe, there were a lot of lizard folk around, a lot of people. Even when things were quiet and calm, you weren't really alone, left to yourselves. So it's almost eerily quiet in the house now. You notice that those those two locations in the home that used to scream when you step near them no longer happens. So the floorboards are quite silent now, except for normal squeaks and creaks.
That's good.
And the night passes, sun comes up. You can have a lie-in, but Chef Perkins he makes the fried squid and waffles and serves that up. There are various muffins and whatnot. More peaches.
Hmm.
Well, we might as well before they all go weird.
I'll get turned into something tasty.
Do you say anything to Rocky or Chef Bergens about your time away?
Um, well, I suppose, is it worth mentioning about the guy? Do you think they'll have some idea about the Emerald Claw and Cardigans, sort of
They might, because they were in that sort of
that whole
area of
smuggling
work
thing, weren't
before.
they? Yeah. I mean, they work for Samberlay.
Mm.
So, yeah, I guess we mention that they take Gellen's body. I've forgotten again. So they took Gellen's body. Did they leave that in the? Is that the one that we found in the cave with the shrine?
I think so. And
You thought it was Gellen's body, but it turned out to be the body of Captain Mars Lamond.
That was it. So we think they've still got Gellen's body, and we think the scab has got his body.
Yeah, wherever Gellen's body is, you don't know.
Right.
You
So
know
yeah, I
that they
guess we just.
carried the bandits, the people who attacked the prison, seemed to escape with a body. But the only body you found is that one in the cave of Mars Lamond.
But we do know for definite that Gellon Prime Water's body has been taken because they said that the
Yeah,
guy who
they
was
said Gellon Primewater's body was there in the prison, was being stored there, and it is no longer there.
Okay, so I guess we tell them what happened at the prison break and maybe see if they know anything about this scab guy. If they've come across him with the smugglers and if they know where he might hang out or where we could maybe track him down to.
Chef Perkin, unfortunately, because he's kind of a hench person. He's a smuggler. He's a minion. He doesn't have a lot of insight about the ins and outs of what goes on. He's basically just been trying to get work and make enough money to survive. And when times are lean, smuggling is a great opportunity. So he doesn't have a lot of insights about anything that he observed when he was working for Sambalay. To him, it was just like this, cooking up bacon and carrying barrels was pretty much his day in, day out. If you mention Cardigan, so the Cardigans, he's like, yeah, I've heard there's a bandit gang, kind of operated out of Kurosawa village, that halfling village to the north. I don't think they operate out there willingly. It's kind of like they terrorize the place. Uh, but yeah, I heard of them. I mean, they're bad news, but never saw them around Sambalay.
Right.
If they were working from him, and that would have been a special job. Rocky knows a little bit more, and generally from your experiences with him so far, between him kind of understanding how to break the runes that Sanbalay put down in the house that kept resurrecting the dead smugglers, and the fact that he seems to be hiding something to do with his right hand, always wearing his gloves. You know that there's more to him than meets the eye. And he says, he doesn't know much, but he says that he was trying to lay really low working around Sanbalay because he needed money to travel back home to the island he comes from. But he knows from people of Sambalay's type, people who are followers of Vol, that people like him, like himself, Rocky, need to keep a low profile because they're trouble. And he says that the followers of Vol, in the area, in the greater, like not Saltmarsh proper, but in this area of the seas, there is a band of elves that are followers of Vol, known as the Bloodsails. And they're one of the groups of pirates that are a threat in the Thunder Sea. And he's not sure if they're. I mean, he can't confirm for you that that Sambalay was part of the Bloodsails, but he says it tracks because they're definitely tied to followers of Vol, and Sambalay was an elf and a follower of Vol. So he's like, that's not a stretch.
Okay, well that makes sense, doesn't it? And that scab guy mentioned when we met him in the prison about we were the ones who'd taken the house. He knew about Sambalay, so
yeah, he said stuff about Sambalay.
Yeah, I've got it written down somewhere. Okay. Because I think we thought the Bloodsails was the name of the ship or something, didn't we? We didn't think it was the name of the band of. So. Okay. And he doesn't have any idea like where they may be based, or are they all ships, no land sort of thing?
He's got nothing. He's like,
Right.
I would
Okay.
have been terrified to go anywhere where I thought it was the home base of the Bloodsails, because that's really not the kind of place that a guy like me needs to be going. I mean, it was pretty nerve-wracking as it is just working for Sambalay.
Okay. If he's saving up money to does he need money to go back home then?
Well, yeah, but I want to earn my way.
Okay. All right. Well, getting rid of the servants. I just feel bad if he wants to go home. All right then. So I don't really know. I suppose it's worth telling him that obviously one of the guys that we met knew that we'd taken this house, so maybe just keep a casual eye on anyone who might be hanging around. Don't approach them, but just let us know if anyone does.
Right. Keep an eye out. Anything shady? Do you think we need more security here?
Well, I kind of think if we're gonna go after anyone, it'll be us. Don't you?
Maybe.
Well, you're certainly more high profile in Saltmarsh than you were when you got here.
Yeah, that's not our fault. Right. Then I don't know. Do we need more security? I don't want a ton of like
Soldiers.
dudes hanging around the house. No. Still got the cannon from Anders.
No,
Can't remember.
he's repurposed the cannon.
Dan.
Yeah, he took that back. You noticed that when you got home that the cannon was no longer sitting out in the front yard.
Can we set booby traps up?
You certainly can.
Maybe. You'd be the person to do that. Little Miss Rogue.
Yeah. Well, we all know how well that works. I could try.
We just have to make sure everyone knows where they are so we don't set them off.
Well, where would we put them though? By the doors.
Well, that's the thing. We need to come in and out of the doors, don't we? I don't want to put them in the garden and hurt the animals.
Put them in the caves. Because we don't go down there very often at minute, do we?
Like to booby trap the water line where somebody
Yeah.
might try to attempt to take a boat
Mm.
in and come
Yeah.
Or
down.
maybe in one of the passages on the way up in case they just manage to get round.
Oh yeah, like
Or do
you
both.
filled in a couple pits.
Hmm. Yeah, but one of them had a ton of dead things in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead skeletons in one of them. A lot of bones.
Yeah, we could. But we could dig another pit.
But there was a fairly narrow hallway before you got to that point where you could just put a big pit trap in.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Have a oopsie waiting for them. If anyone were to try to like sneak into your house.
I missed the first bit of that, Bonnie, sorry.
If anyone were did try to like sneak into your house from the smuggling caves below, there'd be a nice oopsie waiting for them.
Yep.
Yeah. Although, did you say Trinket came in that way with the stash of rice?
Oh yeah, she showed up that way with a bunch of. Ryan just says it was some guys weren't smugglers who worked with San Belay, so he didn't know them by name. But Trinket seemed to know them, and she said that her brother totally knew about this shipment.
Yeah, I'm just concerned that if she came up from the water edge, she'd get hit by it if she decided to try it again.
Oh, maybe we should ask Stiiv to let his sister know not to come via the caves anymore.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So it's
Do
morning
you want to?
time. There's a job list now. There's a to-do list for things for Rocky to tackle in the coming week. So there'll be a little bit of construction, a little bit of extra dust, a little bit of extra shooing chickens out of the way when they get underfoot. You said you wanted to go to town and buy some stuff.
Yes.
So let's open up the Saltmarsh map. So you are just south of town. The most contested information that has been in this game thus far has been exactly how do you get to your house from Saltmarsh? Because every time I talk about it, it's different. Of course, the most direct route is by water through those caves under your house that we were booby trapping. But there's also a path leading in front of your house that, if you follow it north to the north, it it rendezvous with the main road into Saltmarsh, the west gate. And that road will pass by the burnt and now being repaired Wicker Goat Tavern and the guard tower where the prison break happened. And then if you like kind of follow the road south through there, it leads you to places like the Faithful Quartermasters in Ballistia and Stiiv's Hovel, and where all the Hugs guys have their hangout. Also the bank. And then if you follow that road to the north, you get to the Sharkfin Bridge, uh, and then you get to things like, if you head north, you get to things like Anders' house, the town council building, Gil and Prodwater's old home, and the main docks. There's markets on both the north and south sides of the docks, so on either side of the Sharkfin Bridge. And then if you keep following even further north, you get to the oldest part of town, the Stiiv. And there's also a market there, but it's more dingy and run down and not quite as colorful.
The Alchemist was up there, yeah?
The Alchemist is up north in the Stiiv. It's a shop called the Smoking Mermaid.
I just saw that. Where did I see it?
And it is actually one of the shared points with you.
Well, I mean,
Smoking Mermaid is run by a dwarf named Grubbs Understone.
all right, so I need to go up there anyway. Oh, look at all the stuff he's got. I mean, we can use one of the other markets for the other stuff if you want. We didn't bring the donkey with us, did we?
Have we left yet?
Well, you're kind of like headed out of the house, heading north towards
I'm
Saltmarsh.
just thinking we should take the donkey and then we can match it to a wagon and then we can put stuff that we've bought in the wagon.
Plan for your shopping excursion.
Mm.
Right, we're taking the donkey with us.
Have we given a name to the donkey?
No, you haven't.
Dougie.
Dougie.
Dougie?
Oh.
I guess I called it Donkey.
No, we did call Donkey. We
Donkey.
we did call one of them Donkey. From Shrek.
Yeah, but that's got to be this one because the other one died.
All right, well, yeah, no, that's fine. We did name him Donkey.
Okay, keep it Donkey.
Donkey.
We're gonna call him Dougie secretly.
In your private moments with a donkey.
Yeah.
You're really Dougie. Here, have an apple. Sugar cube. Donkeys do like the same things horses like, right?
I think so, yeah. I think donkeys will eat anything. They're a bit like goats.
Okay.
They'll want out.
Well, from your time at Saltmarsh, you know that for things like wanting to purchase a wagon, your best bet is the market, one of the main markets around the docks. Most likely on the north side of town, the weekly market, which coincidentally happens on Mondays.
Well, that's handy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very handy that this is Monday morning and that's the market you need.
All right. And since I believe we got the chickens from the weekly market as well, do we also think that'd be a good place to get
food, any kind of foodstuffs? Either one of the markets by the dock is a really good bet for most things. Like you encountered Barry the tomato vendor at the green market to the south. So either side. I think you've bought butter from the weekly market. So food's good to go there. The market in the Stiiv, you can find food, but it's not necessarily stuff you're going to want to eat. It's pretty low rent, kind of got to eat something to survive. So it's things like porridge and rat stew and some basic brown bread. The older produce that, is past it to be sold at the fancier markets to the south.
Let's stick with going to the weekly market on the North Bank.
Yeah.
Odds and ends, but it's always going to be like you can find like weapons and armor and baskets and supplies in the Stiles market, but it's like the kind of the level of handiwork of the stuff you wash up on the beach in Korthos and DDO with.
Okay.
It's always the battle worn, not first tier merchandise.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah, I think we'll stick with weekly market for the main bits, and then we'll head up to the Stives to get just pay a visit to the alchemist
Visit the Smoking Mermaid
shop. Smoky Mermaid, yeah.
So you find a vendor of carts and wagons. And you see there are a couple options. Flatbed wagon, smaller carts that look like they're for a single person to operate and ride in. And then there's even like a slightly more elaborate covered wagon. It's the kind of wagon that Anders subtly brought the cannon over to your house with, or had his guards bring the wagon over to your house with.
Mm-hmm. Is that a larger wagon though? Would it be too big for a donkey?
It's a fairly large wagon. You probably would want at least 2 donkeys to pull a covered wagon, especially if you were hauling loads like cannons.
How often are we going to be needing to take a cannon to the house?
Not often.
No, and we could always borrow.
Well, if I don't go near him again and poison him, yeah.
True.
A covered wagon is nice, but is it practical?
Yeah,
No.
I'm thinking more the small, the one person one, just for. I mean, we want this just for making things easier for Rocky to get goods up to the house, not the stone, because the donkey can't handle all the stone. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think the middle of them 3 options that you gave us.
Well, a cart, a simple cart, it can only really fit one person comfortably, but it's easily pulled by a donkey. So if you got a cart, Kymir would take up most of the seat, and Shaefira would have to kind of tag along, hanging on to the back.
Can you sit on the back of it with your feet
Yeah.
swinging over?
Yeah, I'll do that.
She'd have to do something like that
It's fine.
because there wouldn't be room in the bench up front even for a halfling. And that's not very expensive. It only costs you about 15 gold pieces. To get a flatbed wagon that's slightly larger, it'd be more like 30 gold pieces.
What's fair on the donkey?
Yeah.
The donkey could pull either. The wagon, there's room for 2 people to ride the bench up front.
Should we go with that one then?
Yeah. It's the donkey though.
And the market does also have vendors of horses and donkeys.
We could buy another one. What can we call Dougie's partner?
Dougie.
You call the new donkey Dougie, and then really upset Donkey, who you've said is called Dougie.
Too complicated.
All right. So how much would it be for another donkey?
I'm researching.
Just throwing these questions at you.
I had them for I have them of course as NPCs, but I had to look up like cost as an item. So donkey cost about 8 gold pieces.
Wow, that's cheap. All right. So What did you
Flatbed.
say for the flatbed? 30.
So
Yeah.
flatbed wagon and another donkey is going to set you back 38 gold.
I'll pay for them since you gave Rocky that for.
You sure?
Yeah.
We need to get some feed for the donkeys.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
And does the wagon come with like harnesses for the donkeys?
Oh, tack will be extra, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, just because we're buying all this stuff, maybe the guy can give us a bit of a deal.
Haggle skill.
I'm trying to like find information. All right, your average harness. Well, the average harness that they sell in Saltmarsh ranges from 3 to 10 gold. So, make a persuasion check, and we'll see if you haggle them down to throw in the harness for free.
Do it.
That's not
Oh yeah,
bad.
totally.
Oh yeah, Kymir wins.
So Shaefira tries to like talk him into like, you could totally. We're making this large purchase. We're frequent customers. Yeah,
Never seen this before.
running for town council. So,
Tell
kind
him
of
that.
like a living endorsement right there, riding around in your merchandise. And yeah, the merchant will hear none of it when Shafir is trying to encourage him to give a discount. But Kymir, you seem much more trustworthy in this circumstance, and you're much more straightforward about it.
Cool.
In terms of encouraging him to do the right thing. It's only fair. The money that you're shelling out for this wagon and the donkey, he doesn't see this kind of purchase every week, every Monday. There's not always somebody with gold in their purse, especially in a town that has just suffered a natural disaster. And the odds of him making this kind of sale in the next month are pretty slim. You're doing him a favor buying this stuff. It's going to feed his family for months. So the least he can do is throw in a harness. So he relents, and he does.
Yay.
Paying what, 38?
And yeah. So persuasive are you, Kymir, that he doesn't just throw in the cheapest harness on the shelf. It's a leather harness with nice little fancy gold buckles. That
Oh,
would have been worth 10 gold.
nice. I shake his hand and thank him profusely.
So one flatbed wagon, a donkey named Dougie, and a harness.
Cool. Right, that's that done.
Make it a flat. Okay.
Sorry, go on.
No, that's me.
I guess we harness him up.
All right.
More.
So you're sitting large in your wagon. You said something about buying feed.
Yeah, so we want feed for the donkeys and also feed for the chickens and a coop.
Some hay and stuff.
I'm trying to see. Oh, it's actually in here. Cool.
Whoa.
So apparently it costs 5 copper pieces to feed an animal a day.
All right, so if we get a month's
So
worth.
it's 1 silver a day for your 2 donkeys.
Okay. What about the chickens?
We'll say the chickens don't eat as much as the donkey. and that's it's immaterial.
Right, fair enough. And so 30
So for
silver would
gold,
do
you can
us a
buy
month.
like 10 days worth of food for your donkeys and the chickens.
Okay, so if we did that and then added the cost onto what we buy, what we pay to Rocky and Perkins, and get them to pay for it each month
Yeah, for a month,
when we give them the salaries.
add 3 gold a month for your animals.
Okay, we'll do that then.
Do that.
Now, if your collection grows too large, they might want you to hire somebody else who's specifically, just like a stable animal minder kind of person.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
But for 2 donkeys and 2 chickens, they can manage. But like if you start having like imps and squittins and various creatures hanging around your house when you're off doing stuff at the tavern and whatnot,
Okay, so
they'll reach a limit eventually and be like, more staff, please.
We'll have to keep an eye out for somebody who might thinks.
okay, for animals.
As you rode into town, actually, you drove past the squid and it was still standing outside the guard tower.
Alright, we
It's
need
been
to
there
win.
the whole time.
We need to collect the squid. We can't just leave him there.
Mm.
We'll get him on the way out.
But
Okay.
the squid can eat.
I can feed him anything I've touched.
True. Yeah. Don't touch the peaches.
Okay. All right, note to self. We need to pick that up. All right, so if we add feed to the salaries for the staff, I'm just buying enough for 10 days to keep us going until next payday.
Did we make a note about their salaries?
If there is a salaries note, but I can't edit it.
Oh, it's probably because I made it. Okay. Okay, so it's 80 total for their salaries, 3 for the chickens. Oh, and then your own personal expenses for any house expenses that you want to give them. Now, you haven't sold off all of the weapons and stuff that you confiscated.
No.
So that could cover probably a couple months of expenses.
Yeah. And the fact that it's crates of weapons, the fact that we've now got carts that we can take them in, that's probably useful.
Where did we get crates of weapons from?
From the smugglers.
Mm.
They were actually these were the weapons that were originally destined for the Bloodroot Lizard Folk tribe that kind of never made it to them.
Oopsie.
The question is also who you would sell these weapons to. You could probably, Stiiv could probably sell them to the faithful quartermaster of Militia. But
He does have a bit of a thing going on with it, doesn't he?
everybody else might be like, where'd you get all these weapons?
Let's just leave them until it becomes necessary. Yeah.
I mean, the silks, we've got the silk as well. And we've got the gold items that we got from the alchemist room. So, yeah, Shaefira's been picking up gems left, right, and centre wherever she can.
Yeah.
So we've got.
I say, like, if you're a comfy citizen, if you're living like at a comfy citizen level, it'd be like 60 gold pieces a month for your living expenses in general. Stiiv lives at a hovel level. That's only 3. So for you guys, your own like personal living expenses or like running the household, let's say it'd be about 125 gold a month plus your employees and the livestock is another 83.
All right.
So that's like
So,
208 gold a month.
okay.
We need to start looting more.
We do. We need to start killing more people. Okay.
Selling some of your loot
Sorry.
would also be helpful. Because you've sold a very, very small amount of the loot that you've gathered. You just keep like hoarding things.
Keep sticking it in that bag of holding. Yeah, I mean, look at all these bloody gems you've got: alexandrite, amber, amethyst.
What if we need those for like spell casting or something? I don't know. What, you know?
Bronze dragon scales. All right, so we have got stuff we could sell, really, that we should think about offloading at some point. Okay. All right, so but we're all right for the coming month anyway, so we don't need to worry about it too much just yet. And we've probably got plenty to sell to keep us going for a good few months as well. We just need to organise selling it. All right, let's pick up the rest of the stuff and then grab Squin and head off back.
All right. I updated that note. Hopefully, it'll have the information that people need in the future. You drive your brand new cart into the sties to the Smoking Mermaid. It is a rundown alchemy shop from the outside. You see a constant plume of gray smoke coming out of the chimney. And there is a sign with a buxom mermaid hanging by the door, but the paint is a bit worn with time. From outside the shop, you see like this shop was did not seem to be one that was affected by the mudslide. It was far enough south that it wasn't ravaged by the disaster. Uh, the the grime is just the normal grime of the streets and the styes. There's signs that the sewage hasn't worked properly in decades, so the streets are mucky, but nothing's flooded. And you can tell if you gaze off to the north that everything seems to still be coated in brown. And you see people in the distance with wagons and wheelbarrows of their own, and they still seem to be a lot of people to the north digging, digging out their way out. You see lots of ruins of buildings and wreckage. It's kind of like about 100 feet beyond where you are to the northwest. Uh, the town kind of ceases to exist, and just the wreckage is left behind. You enter the shop, and it's quite dark. There's a few low burning fires in censers, and there's like an open candle with a flask bubbling over it. And there's fairly, surprisingly young looking dwarf hunched over a table. He's chewing on a cigar, and he looks grimy himself. There's marks of smoke where it looks like something's maybe exploded in his face. His eyebrows are singed off. And he seems to be grinding something with a mortar and pestle. And he doesn't pay attention to you as you come in. And he's just muttering over his mortar and pestle. And from listening to him, it just sounds like he's listing off ingredients.
Okay. Hi.
He starts. Oh, what customer? What do you want? Who are you? What?
I would like some basic alchemy gear, please, in order to start making potions.
Basic alchemy gear. Oh. So as you want to become an alchemist, though?
Do I want to I don't really want to become an alchemist. I just want to make pots to
You want
stop me
to be
dying.
recreational potionist. A Sunday potion maker.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Slumming up here in the skies. With your artisanal hobbies. But
Yeah.
I could sell you some supplies. But you know, alchemist supplies, they can be weapons, you know. You know how to use this safely.
No, I'm just starting. So if you've got any books on the subject, that would also be much appreciated.
Oh yeah, I got books. So he gets off his stool, kind of jumps down. His stool's pretty high up, and he's not that tall. And he saunters over to a bookshelf. A lot of books. The spine, some of them are in various languages that you do not know. But then there's a couple really small, slender volumes. And he pulls out one, and it has a brightly covered front cover. Lots of cartoon pictures, and it says, "My
Alchemist for Dummies.
First Alchemy Primer." And it's like a large print book, lots of pictures. You're like, well, this'll do you. This'll do you for some simple potions. You know, you can make some bubble bath. Bubble bath's really nice. If you manage to, it'll teach you the basics of heating, distilling, transmogrifying.
Well, I guess it's a place to start.
You don't think you're gonna make gold, right?
Oh God, no.
Okay. Because a lot of you Sunday potioners think you're gonna get in this, making everything into gold, getting rich easy. That's just not an alchemist's life.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's really what I'm looking for.
I just remembered something. Did you like? Oh, I think you did. There was a toy at the ruins that was labeled Junior Alchemist Playset, which I guess you guys left behind.
Damn it! That would have been really useful to keep, wouldn't it? Though I don't think Gary would have appreciated me keeping it.
But he'll sell you um, a basic set of alchemist supplies for 50 gold.
Okay.
He'll throw in the book for free.
Okay. Just out of interest, because I've been looking at the stuff on the shelves, what is this experimental elixir table that you've got for sale?
Oh, those are really kind of like temporary items. You know, every once in a while I experiment and I like make up an like elixir, and they'll have various properties. They don't have a really long shelf life, so if you buy them, you pretty much gotta use them in the next day.
No, that's no use.
Sometimes I make stuff. It's really good. It gives you like boosts your armor. Sometimes I've made things that make it so you could move faster. It's kind of like drinking 5 cups of coffee. Sometimes I make stuff that just makes your hair look nice. That's why it's called experimental.
Okay.
And he kind of gestures to another shelf that has some homemade labeled unguents and bottles. And you see, other than the bubble bath, which he pretty much always has bubble bath in stock, as far as his potions go. He has a bottle of labeled Grub's Majestic Mane Tonic. He's like, speaking of hair, looking good. I get a little bias from this, for this stuff. All over the region. Things start looking a little bit wispy up top. Smooth on some of this Majestic Mane Tonic, and you got a full bouffant before you know it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've got enough hair for that.
I've also got this nice little potion of water breathing. If you ever decide that you want to breathe water, it'll help you out short term.
That could be useful. If you only got the one.
Yeah, just the one at the moment.
Alright, go on.
I don't know
Chuck
what
that in
traffic's
as well.
been lately. People seem to be wanting to breathe a lot of water. Better snap this one up before I'm all out.
Okay. Could come in handy.
And then he also has spicy syrup on the shelves. You can see that that's been bottled by the tavern to the south that Hannah Wrist runs, the Snapping Line, because it's their personal recipe. But spicy syrup is for sale like all over Saltmarsh. It's like the number one like tourist souvenir for sale. It's like you go to some places and you buy saltwater taffy. You come to Saltmarsh, you buy spicy syrup.
Okay. Is that what Chef Perkins used last night, though?
Yeah, that's what he uses on the waffles. That's part of his fried squid with waffles and spicy syrup. This is the spicy syrup, so he's got it on the shelf for sale.
Okay.
Those are the three main things on the shelf: are the bubble bath, a potion of water. Well, four main things: potion of water breathing, one bottle of Grub's Majestic Mane Tonic, and spicy syrup. Everything else is just supplies. There's a lot of paper, a lot of ink, and the kit that you bought has those things. It has like charcoal, and it has a little burner, some vials and tubes, various herbs.
Cool.
And he has some more additional herbs as well for sale. If you ever needed to look for something particular, he might have that in stock. And you also see a sign that says, something about bullets are special order only, paid in full up front.
That's interesting. We have guns.
Do we?
No, we don't have guns, but
I was going to say,
yeah.
I'm not sure we have any firearms.
I will say the lieutenant who died, that the tree ate him, he had a gun.
Oh, we forgot to loot.
Shaefira, you saw there was a gun on his belt, but you never saw him use it. And unfortunately, the half of him that had the gun was eaten by the tree.
Oh.
So there was no
not keen.
opportunity to perchance loot the gun.
But she's been defiantly un-American by not wanting a gun.
But you know that I mean, you've seen sailors and pirates and that sort. There are some firearms at use on the seas. So you've seen people using firearms before, but they aren't super popular when traveling on land, unless you're in more of a larger city.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
All
well,
right.
at least we know where to get bullets from if we've do
If we need
get
to, yeah. So it was 50 gold for the alchemy set, and how much for the water breathing potion?
Let's see what's on. Oh, it's 138 gold is the base price.
For the water potion?
That's a
Yeah,
lot,
potion
ain't
of
it?
water breathing.
Screw that, I don't want it.
It's magical.
Yeah. That'd take up all my gold.
You might be able to haggle them down.
Do we need it?
20% off.
You can guarantee we will need it if we don't buy it.
What's just have a quick flick through that book you're buying from him, because there might be the thingy to make your water breathing potion in the book.
Said it were a basic, so I can't imagine it'll have anything advanced in it.
How do you know that the potion of water breathing is advanced? He's telling you that it is, but he could be lying. So you don't go make it yourself, and you pay 138 gold for the one he's made.
Shaefira has a point. Kymir has a flick through the book.
Well, you see there's a recipe for making bubble bath.
That's all I'm going to learn, innit?
Bath. No else.
These are child safe kind of recipes. So there's a potion of pyrotechnics. The bubble bath.
Well, we could get Kymir practicing on the, simple stuff,
And find a better book.
and then find a better book.
Yeah. Okay, I think I will
And
put back.
a potion of minor healing.
Hey! That's what I'm bothered about.
Right. We'll worry about water breathing.
We know where to
another
come
time.
to if we want some. Or if we think we might need it.
Because Steve's still got his water breathing.
He's got
Armor, hasn't he?
he's got water breathing armor.
If we really need to go underwater.
And
Well, one of us.
as an arcane trickster, you don't know that spell, but you have enough familiarity with arcane things, Shaefira, that you know that the spell water breathing, your low rent, low level wizards can't cast that spell. It takes a little bit more knowledge.
Okay.
Like, you think it's a level 3 spell?
Right.
Right up there with like wizards who know how to do fireballs.
Fireballs. Right.
So that might put the price into perspective.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it is unfortunately just a bit too expensive for what I currently have on me.
But you know that, like, if you ever need it,
Yeah.
Grubs Understone could probably hook you up.
Okay. So 50 gold for the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that takes me down to 167. Okay.
So you wrap up at the Smoky Mermaid, say ta-ta to Grubs, and he goes back to hunching over his mortar and pestle and muttering ingredients over the bowl. Back out into the streets, up into your wagon with your donkeys. You start heading south.
Mm-hmm.
And you get out of the sties into the fancier, starting to enter the more. Well, you get out of the sties. You pass the road that leads off to the cemetery, and you start to you're on the approach to where you'd start to get close to where Andrew's house is, when there's a sound of clattering hooves, surprised yelps, and frantic bleating. And before you can really react and notice what it is, if you need to look out for something in the road, a goat bounds towards you and manages to leap onto the seat of your wagon. It appears to be a regular goat. It's quite an attractive goat.
Oh,
Let's see if I have a picture.
do you feel like the DM's trying to entice us into getting more animals?
Yes. Or employ another
Staff
somebody
member.
to look after the animals. But
So,
Oh,
a handsome goat. The goat's hair is quite lustrous,
he's been at that tonic, hasn't he?
and it leaps into your wagon. Very fluffy coat, and it seems to be carrying an elaborate scroll in its mouth. And the goat nudges at Shaefira with the scroll.
I feel there's some hokery pokery going on here.
Hmm.
No. I well, if he's poking the scroll at me, I reach for it and try and take it off him.
You take the scroll, and it's sealed with wax, and the seal purports that it is a scroll of speak with animals.
Ooh. Is it like a spell?
Yes.
Ah. Is it one that I would do or one that I would?
Yeah, being an arcane trickster, you could manage to do this. It's like a level 1 spell scroll.
Oh, cool. Excellent. I yeah, open it and read it.
The goat starts speaking in common, and what he says is slightly relevant to you. And Rage should probably read it.
Hello, my name is Wilhelm. I'm a rather prestigious wizard from the royal elven lineage of Rayam. Sorry, I sound gruff. I'm not usually a goat. Ah, yeah, I know that.
Oh.
Wait, there's more. Or there's more if I like understood how to use things.
I've had a bit of a hiccup where my corporeal integrity is concerned. Sure, my body gets me into trouble occasionally, but this is the first time I've had hooves. I'm in dire need of aid, and I reckon from town gossip you're the hero to sort. While I have adventurer friends myself, they aren't in town at the moment. Apparently, the clerics dragged most of them to Dumpling Convention in Gatherhold. All that's left is Paco the Goblin, and I owe him money. Okie dokie. Right, well, there's room for a go at the minute, and we can figure out what we need to do to help. And if we can't,
The goat keeps going on about, owing Paco money. It's like, if you want to get down to brass tacks, he doesn't really owe Paco any money at all, because the only reason he borrowed it was because his mate Gizmo's blink dog got worms, and he was pet sitting one weekend in Sharn, and House Jurosco way overcharges for vet bills. So, if technically, really, Gizmo should owe Paco money, but, they don't agree. And anyway, he's a goat.
okay.
So, Wilhelm the goat tells you that he was trying to escape. He has been transformed by a very naughty guy who thinks he's a wizard, named Kelly. And he was trying to escape last week with Paco's assistance. He thought a guy named 80 Bloomwiffler could help him out. He's the gnome that runs the Fishwax Emporium in the Stiiv. And he does experimental magic, But it was a disaster meeting up with him. There was a mudslide that wiped them out. 80 got zeroed, and Paco saved him by his horns from certain death because he owes him money. And he's looking for a payday to cover his election expenses. So,
Is he saying they either caused the mudslide or it just happened when he was there?
oh no. And I will share like a whole thing with Wilhelm's perspective. So much backstory.
All right. Can we take a short break? Then I'll come back and
This would
read
be a
it.
good time to take a short break. But basically, what you learn from this talk is once upon a time, Wilhelm set up his own wizard tower here in Saltmarsh. And he made, he had a decent gig being the resident wizard of the town. And his main job was to use Shape Earth to kind of keep mudslides at bay. And he had taken on an apprentice. There's this guy, used to be a smuggler, but he had a little bit of potential. A human named Kaladek. And eventually, Kaladek the wizard betrayed him, turned him into a goat, where he's been languishing and suffering just pretty much from the embarrassment for 2 years. But yeah, let's take a break.
Okay.
Okay, back in a
jiffy.
bit.
I am back.
Us two, just reading through this.
So Wilhelm, he goes over his life story over the course of this Speak with Animals spell.
Okay. So
you find out that the wizard you've previously known as Kaladek the Unspoken, who is the master of Dave the Imp, was formerly Wilhelm's apprentice. And while he thought Kelly was kind of lame, not really a good apprentice at all, one night he ended his meditation and saw that his apprentice Kelly had the wand of true polymorph, which Wilhelm had borrowed from Uncle Yummy. And Kelly used that wand to turn him into a goat. And since then, Kaladek has set up shop in a tower to the south of town, on the south side of town, and is living the high life, acting like he's a big wizard boss. And
is this the guy who's got Dave?
yeah, this is the guy who's Dave is his familiar.
Right.
And Wilhelm wants your help getting the wand of true polymorph off of him so that he can turn himself into his true form. And if you kicked Kelly's ass along the way, that'd be awesome too.
That just happens to coincide nicely. Does Wilhelm know about Dave?
Oh, yeah, he's seen Dave. Little imp. Kaladek is just about as bad with familiars as Uncle Yummy is.
Okay, so does he think if we beat the crap out of Kaladek, I would be able to get Dave away from him permanently? Is there something I need to do to break the familiar thing?
Oh, all you have to do is kill him. He's easy.
Alright, that works.
Yeah, probably should rescue him fairly quick though, because if Kaladek's heard anything that maybe Dave's working with you guys, hasn't been reporting what he's been seeing accurately, or it's gotten back at all that Dave's been lying to him, probably isn't going to bode well for Dave.
I guess it's a good job we picked up that bacon.
Yes.
Yeah. Kelly runs
So,
through familiars like Uncle Yummy runs through apprentices.
don't call yummy. Oh, dear.
Um. Okay, then I guess we can't take a stuff home first. We need to go
Well, how far is it?
south side of the town, isn't it?
Yeah, you got about a half an hour drive to get back to your house. You've had a chat with Wilhelm the goat, and you're starting to head south when a bunch of figures block you in the road. One of them is wearing a cloak with a hood.
Okay.
Uh, there's a loud howling in the air, and there's a huge half orc swaggering toward you, pushing his way through the crowd without a care for anybody who's standing in his way in the streets. There are three large wolves walking in front of him wearing iron collars, and then there's the aforementioned hulking figure in a dirty brown cloak, traveling in his wake with footfalls loud enough to be heard over the ruckus the wolves are making. And the half orc sets his small eyes on you, and with one hand resting on the hilt of a great sword, he says, "That goat belongs to Kaledek the Unspoken. He desires to have it back."
I'm gonna look at the goat and make a show of looking for a tag.
Make a what?
Looking for a tag, a collar, a name,
The goat
owner's name.
shrugs.
Yeah, friend, I don't see anything on here to say that this goat belongs to anyone.
"Do you have proof that the goat doesn't belong to my master?"
No, but you can't prove it either.
"He's a very naughty goat. He's escaped from my master, and master holds him in great sentimental value.
A goat has sentimental value.
It's his favorite goat."
We can't be that bothered about it if he managed to let it go, if it was, in fact, his.
"Oh, he did not let it go. It escaped. It's a very naughty goat. Look at
Are you trying
it.
to.
Look at this
Well,
goat. He's so cheeky. He's very naughty goat."
Well,
I'm just trying to set up a
whereabouts
map.
are we? Uh, uh, Grim's lost connection. Hang on a minute.
Okay, I will fiddle with maps while Grim reconnects. Oh, I need to add the goat.
okay, well, that came. Yeah? Alright. Bloody internet. I can't remember what I was saying now.
So this is a half orc stranger.
Oh, yeah, so I was just wondering whereabouts we are on the map. So you said we were heading south out of the Stiiv going towards Anders' place. So is that, are we going on the main road to the east of Anders or. Oh,
Here's a general map. You're kind of stopped in the street.
okay. So we've got him. You said there was another guy behind him
There's a
who.
cloaked dude behind him. There are three wolves. I've just noticed that the wolves are marked here as large instead of a reasonable size. So I might adjust them a little bit so that they don't dwarf the map. Oh, that didn't work. What did I just do?
Can you think of a way to avoid a fight? Because the only way I can think of is we give him the goat, and I don't think we should do that.
I don't want to give him the goat. We need to get Dave, don't we? So we need to find a way to get.
Well, what about if we say that we will go with them to the tower to speak to Kaladek because we are not convinced it's his goat?
Though we're not interested in you.
I don't really care what you think, mate.
That's very rude.
Well, you just walked up to us and stopped us in the street, which also seems very rude.
Rude.
I'm on a mission for my master, the great Kaladek.
You keep saying,
He is unspoken, but I speak of him because he is my master.
I've heard that Kaladek is a bit of a dick.
Ah, the audacity! He is great!
Well, we are great, so...
Oh, I need to find a goat.
Not something you tend to think people are going to say on a day-to-day basis. I need to find a goat.
Here he is.
I think we're going to have to fight him. I don't think he's going to let us go unless we give him the goat.
There's Wilhelm the goat. And, let me make these wolves. They have alarmingly high numbers because I had to replace them with the fat wolves. The fat wolves were too big for these streets. And as you seem to be resisting and talking about accompanying them with the goat, the cloaked figure suddenly rears back its hood and lets out a roar. And it reveals that it is in fact a bear in a cloak. And the bear charges toward you. Roll initiative.
Okay.
Woo! Kymir, quick on the draw.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The bear has only run forward, and instead of attacking you, what he's done is reared up and pushed at the cart to try to knock you guys off of it. But he hasn't attacked you.
Okay.
It's like, seriously, we just bought this cat. Better not kill the donkeys.
It's already getting scratched by a bear in the streets. What is this town coming to?
I know. What the hell?
Shocking, it's disgraceful.
Let me layer it up. I have you off squares again.
Oh, thank you. That makes it a lot easier. I would like to cast Tidal Wave, please. I'm going to take out my water bottle. Because I think it says I need a drop of water. Or was that one of the
Take
other
your
spells?
canteen.
Yep. Do a drop of water and cast it. So it says 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, which means I should be able to get all of them in that.
All right.
I can't work out how to do a box.
I won't be difficult because I did not put commoners on the streets.
All right. Well, to be fair, if I had seen a big giant bear roaring out of the cloak, I'd have run away.
So we're going to assume that everybody who's a normal commoner has, at the sight of the bear and the sight of this confrontation in the streets, has backed away slowly, ducked back into their shops or their houses, and they are giving you a wide berth. You can do a shape by... I think it's left and right mouse buttons and shift at the same time. And even then, that's just a square. That's annoying. So what size is it?
30 by 10.
30 by 10. Does it originate with you?
It says a range of 120 foot,
Okay,
so
so you can pick a point for it to originate. Okay.
yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to do my shape.
Well, let's say I don't understand. It's 10 by 30.
Yes, so 10 across would be 2 squares, wouldn't it? So if you started in
Yeah.
that wolf at the top.
So you could target the wolf at the top and the half-orc stranger. Easy peasy. There's going to be a splash of water against that shop to the west of you. But I'm sure that's fine.
But if it's 10 by 30, doesn't that mean it's 10 across and 30 down? So it would actually hit all of them. Is each square 5 foot?
Am I pushing to talk? I'm like ruminating. Is it length by width? Is it width by length?
It just says 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, and up to 10 feet tall.
Because I'm assuming it's like two squares in front of you, but six squares
Long.
beyond. Yeah.
So, well, it doesn't say which. Yeah, it doesn't say which direction you see. So I was thinking I could just do it as a wall
If you could
going.
flip it to the side, I think because it's a
Yeah.
wave, it's pretty much moving forward in one direction.
Okay. I see. Okay. Well, let's do the two. Let's do the do the orc and direwolf 4 then. Directly in front of me.
And they have to make saving throws.
Yep. Dex saving throws on
Did
a
I add
failed.
it to your sheet?
I have it on the sheet. I'm not sure how to cast it.
Oh, just drag where it says save. If you drag
Right.
that to the two people affected. So the half orc succeeds, but the dire wolf fails.
Okay, so
And
the
now you
failed
can roll damage
save.
to both of them.
Right. Damage. Is that the attack? No, the damage. There we go. Sorry.
So the half orc takes 10 points of damage. The dire wolf takes 18. And that particular dire wolf looks. Well, it's not bloodied, but it's quite soggy.
Okay,
And
he's
now smell that wet dog smell.
he's knocked prone, the one that failed the save.
Okay. So prone wolf on the cobbles.
And that will be my action, won't it? Yes. So what's that? Take 1 charge. Oh shit! That takes 3 charges.
So your crown is depleted until
Bollocks.
tomorrow.
Right.
Tuesday.
Okay. Should have read that bit first. Never mind. Maybe I don't need water walk at this point, so I think that's me done.
Okay. One of the wolves is snarling. And it runs forward and it leaps up onto your wagon. And it tries to grasp the goat in its jaws. Like get its jaws around the goat's nape. Like it wants to grapple it. I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll an attack on the goat to see if he actually grabs the goat. He does grab the goat. I'm going to make Wilhelm save. to see if he can get out, can get loose, or if he's truly actually grappled.
Surely Wilhelm the goat would just start humping the wolf and the wolf would run away.
He's panicking. Oh, his goat stats aren't that great. Okay, so he fails. He fails to slip away. So this wolf starts uh, dragging Wilhelm out of the wagon and starts dragging him away.
How did Ernestina the chicken get here?
Yeah, they're still left behind from the house. There are no chickens in this combat. I feel bad about deleting them though. Oh, he's
Hide,
I'm doing them
chickens,
personal
hide!
harm. Direwolf 4 runs forward and scratches the donkey. Oh, but he had to get up first. Let me.
Oh,
He
yeah.
still managed to hit. Let me take off that donkey is prone. He was really close by, so having half movement didn't affect him being able to
Yeah.
be mean to donkeys. I don't know how I just worked up removing the prone, but I did. Yay! So he attacked the donkey. He hit the donkey. He bit the donkey. And your donkey is down.
No!
Is it Dougie or Donkey?
It's donkey.
Oh no.
It's been with you so long. A whole like 3 sessions. And donkey is down, and the vicious the dire wolf is just like rawr. Wilhelm the goat is trying to struggle free. Why do I keep doing that? I know I'm doing that. The display now for this game is completely gone off the rails. Like there's windows everywhere on the right hand of my screen. Oh, he nat ones. So
Oh,
he doesn't escape the wolf's clutches. And the last wolf runs up the side and tries to leap and nip at Shaefira, still in the wagon. Hits with a 17 and does 12 damage of biting. Now it is Shaefira's turn.
Yeah. I'll have a stab at Direwolf 6 with my obsidian stiletto.
All right, 25 absolutely hits that direwolf. You do 8 damage up front. You get sneak attack damage because Kymir is beside you.
Let me find my sneak attack. Jeez, look at that.
Well,
2 friggin'
I think
ones.
Kymir's
Isn't
actually
there?
supposed to be beside the wolf, but you got a donkey by the wolf. I think that counts too.
Yeah.
So far you've done 13 damage. And does the wolf save against bleeding?
Oh. Let me find it. Hang on a second. Sorry. It's been a few weeks.
never that proficient in the first place.
True. Very true indeed. So is that a failure? He fails.
Fails his save.
Yeah, he fails a save, so that
And then I
dire
have to do
wolf is now
damage.
bleeding, has a bleeding effect. So it takes another d4 damage this turn, and I'll take a d4 damage on its next turn.
Shall I do a d4 then on it? Yeah.
Yes.
Ka-ching.
So that wolf has taken 16 total damage. And
So I think I might move slightly as well.
leap off the wagon.
Yeah. Do a giant leap off the wagon
So
and
it'll be like 1 square of movement to get off the wagon. So you can move 4 squares beyond that.
I'll just I'll go here, just by Wilhelm. I think, yeah. But if he starts humping my leg, then I'm not helping him anymore.
Okay. The half-orc sees that there's a wolf dragging Wilhelm away. So he starts moving in that direction. And is gesturing for the wolf to come to him. Bring the goat his way. And the bear rears up and tries to attack Kymir. And claws at him. Hits with a 21. And does 9 damage. Dougie is very distressed because there's a wolf on one side. There's Donkey, his new friend, is bleeding to his left side, and then there's another wolf on the other side, and so he rears up a little bit and he's upset. Donkey makes a death save, and he saves.
We're all very happy about that.
So 2 more saves and Donkey is stabilized. I'm making notes. Stiiv is back at your house counting rice grains. And top of round 2, Kymir, it's your turn.
I'm going to attack the bloody bear. Like
Karate chop that bear. Let's remember how many you have. A freak load of attacks. I think you get to what? You get to do like punch.
Right, shit, hang on. I put it in my notes somewhere.
Yeah.
Right, so melee attack. I can do a weapon, or unarmed attack, plus weapon / unarmed attack, and a bonus unarmed attack. Or I can do weapon, bonus action, flurry of blows, unarmed attack, flurry of blows. So I can do 2 extra attacks if I do flurry, do his key point. Let's just try and hit him first. Yeah. All right, so Hand of the Fate. I'm going to start with a quarterstaff. It's
with a 15, you whack him. 1 blade of your quarterstaff.
Okay, so does that mean I do the lightning damage now?
Do saving throw.
Save.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the bear saves, so there's no burst of electricity this time around.
Okay, so I will do my second attack.
Another hit with a 16. 7 more damage, so the bear's taken 14 damage total so far. And
Asshole.
the bear
Right.
saves again. Wait a second. Is 13 what you need for a save for that?
Looks like it.
Oh yeah, I guess I calculated this before. I was always thinking it was like higher than that, but okay.
Okay, so my last attack is my hand to hand.
Use a key or not a key.
Nah, I'm just going to do a normal one.
You hit with a 24, punch the bear in the face. And do 6 more damage. So you've done a total of 20 damage to that bear.
Blimey.
Kerblam. No damage over time, but certainly damage right now.
Okay. I guess that's it.
Direwolf 5 is snarling and kind of drooling at its chops. It's still got the blood of Donkey around its jaws. And it leaps over Donkey's body and jumps up and tries to bite you, Kymir. And
You just moved 4, not 5.
and
5's the one that's got
and
Wilhelm.
misses biting you with a
Okay.
13. Oh, I moved the wrong wolf, I guess.
Yeah, but I suppose if they're next to each other, it doesn't really matter,
Okay,
does it?
so let's skip that one because Direwolf 5 is the one who actually has Wilhelm. And that wolf is dragging Wilhelm further. He gets to like where blah blah where the half orc is. And they're all clumped together. Finally the Direwolf 6 kind of like runs they're kind of like jumping over the wagon and tries to get Shaefira. Hits her with a dirty 20 and does 12 damage. And now it is Shaefira's turn.
I'll have another stab at Direwolf 6. Is that the one with the...
The one next to you. Just to the north of you. And yeah, I think that's the one that had the bleeding effect.
Okay, so do we do that first or after?
Yeah, you can go ahead and apply 4 damage to it. Alright, so another 2 damage happens.
Right, so I'll have another stab at him.
You hit with a dirty 20. You do 10 damage up front. There's your sneak attack damage. Ooh, 10 more. So 20 so far. And see if it gets another bleeding effect. And this time the wolf saves. But still, you did 20 damage stabbing that wolf. And it is visibly bloodied. Wounds gushing. It does not look in good shape.
Okay. I'll just move slightly. I just need to keep an eye on Wilhelm.
Okay. So you disengage as a bonus
yeah.
action. And,
Yes.
and move toward the wolf with the goat.
Yeah.
The half-orc sees you, steps forward, and whirls his great sword to stop you from following more. And he hits you with a 16. And does 12 more damage. The bear claws at Kymir. Hits with an 18. Does 15 damage. And the bear starts moving away, and that gives you an attack of opportunity, Kymir.
Okay.
For
So I just
a normal hit.
Right. What, hand to hand? Or
Yeah,
can I
hand
use
to
my
hand.
quarterstaff?
Yeah, just hand to hand. And you hit him with a 14. doing 8 damage as the bear moves away. And the bear is like kind of clumping with the people who have Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Dougie's still stressed. Donkey makes a death save. And this one's a fail.
Oh no.
So we have 1 success, 1 fail for Donkey. Round 3, Kymir, it's your turn.
What do you reckon? Attack the wolves or go after the bear?
Well, that wolf that is nearly dead. Can you not get 2 of them at the same time? No.
All right, I
What
will
about
attack.
if you kill that one
You
that
have 2
nearly
different
that's
attacks, so you can
blooded?
attack 2 different targets.
All right, I will attack 6.
And you hit with a 22. So that dire wolf is down.
I will turn to direwolf 4. And I'm just going to do a normal hand-to-hand extra.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you do the burst on that dire wolf?
Oh God, no, I didn't. Hang on, save. So do I need to do 2 because I hit him twice with it? Yeah.
I think you only hit the first one, right?
Oh yeah, the first one died, didn't it?
The
Yeah.
first one
Okay.
you killed, so it didn't matter
Yeah.
if he saved or not. And then
Okay.
you did your second attack on that guy, and he did save.
That guy.
So
Yeah.
this wolf took the 11 plus 5 damage, so 16 damage from your attack and your bonus. So that wolf is looking bloodied as well. The only wolf that looks absolutely untouched is the wolf that's got Wilhelm. And he's continuing to move away with the goat. And Direwolf is wounded but not down, and it tries to bite at Kymir again. Hits with an 18. Does 6 damage. And wait, did you never mind. It draws an attack of opportunity from you.
Okay.
I had to think about whether or not the bear was this round or last round. It was last round.
Damn it.
But you miss, and so the wolf is gradually moving away. Wilhelm the goat tries to escape again. Rolls an 11, which still isn't enough to break the jaws of the wolf. He needs a 13. So poor Wilhelm is stuck. But Shaefira is on the case.
Well, Shaefira is going to go hide over by donkeys and eat some tasty bacon.
As you disengage.
Yeah.
And move away. Eat some bacon. Heal yourself for 8. You can feed bacon to the donkeys too.
Oh, would that be a bonus action? Or
that would be an actual action. But just for future reference.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The donkey may be okay on its own.
Yeah.
If not, I say go for another.
Yeah.
As long as I don't roll a 1, the donkey's fine.
Okay. Well, that's me done, I guess.
The half orc is also moving away. You can see that they seem to be retreating now that they've got their goat quarry. And Wilhelm, is caught, but you hear him kind of like bah and frantically, and looks at you with pleading eyes to help him. And his voice is gone now. So it seems that the speak with animals spell has expired. And Brown Bear moving away down the street. Donkey rolls a death save again. An 11, so it saves again. 2 saves and 1 fail. So 1 more save of the donkey, and donkey is stable. Top of round 4, Kymir.
I'm going to go after Wolf 4 and try and finish him off.
The direwolf succeeds on its saving throws.
Alright, final bonus hit. Yes,
But you
finally.
drop him after 2 whacks with either side end of your quarterstaff and a punch to the head. You drop a second direwolf. And with a yelp, it expires.
Okay.
The single surviving direwolf continues to drag Wilhelm down the street. Wilhelm tries to escape. Rolls nat 1 again.
Fucking hell, Wilhelm. Pull it together.
It's better if I'm rolling these ones. It's better that I roll it for Wilhelm trying to escape than for Donkus saving throws.
True.
For Donkus death saves. Because that would count for 2 fails. Shaefira.
Okay. So I'm going to take a shot at the wolf. I'm assuming that I've got like clear sight past the bear.
You're fine as long as you don't roll a nat 1. And as a halfling, you have to basically roll 2 nat 1s in order for it to be a nat 1.
Never mind.
So the arrow whizzes past all bears, wolves, and goats.
Yep.
Do you move?
No, I'll just stay here for the time being, I think.
Okay. The half-orc did not come with any ranged weapons, so does not try to do anything about the people following him, and just continues running down the street with the goat and the wolf and the bear. As in the bear is moving too. Tracking out, they are. God, my throat is so dry. Donkey does another saving throw, death save.
Come on, Donkey.
Nat 20. Donkey is stable. And we're going to give back Donkey 1 mercy hit point. The donkey's still unconscious, but he will wake up in a while. Kymir.
I am going to shoot a sunbolt at Direwolf 5.
You hit it with an 18.
I'm going to spend a key point and do 2 more.
Okay.
I can find the key points.
All right. With the first bolt, he manages to keep his concentration and grip on Wilhelm.
One.
Second bolt hits him, and he manages to keep his concentration.
Okay.
And what, your third bolt is a miss?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to, just before I finish my turn, I'm just going to move forward slightly.
Okay. It's a shame because the third time the wolf rolled low.
Fuck's sake.
So you would have had a free goat at that point. So the wolf, though injured now, continues moving away with the goat. I've lost track of where the squares actually are. Wilhelm tries to save again. He rolls a 12, just a little bit short. But he's a goat. He's pretty short. Shaefira.
Right, I'll get into position so I can have another shot at that wolf. I'm assuming that I can hit it without hitting Wilhelm. Perhaps.
Only nat ones would cause you to hit Wilhelm. And you're a lucky halfling.
Oh, for
So
goodness
11
sake.
misses.
Right.
The half-orc stranger sees you haven't given up, so he seems to be starting to veer off to the right. And you see him kind of call to the others to follow. The bear is moving with him. Kymir.
I'm going to shoot another radiant bolt at Direwolf 5. Hang on, what's my range? I forget. Range is 30. Alright, so I'll move forward a bit. And shoot him.
Right, you hit him with a 21. Maintains his concentration, still has his grip on Wilhelm, but takes 4 damage.
Alright, I'm going to spend a key point again.
15 hits. He still maintains his concentration and takes another 4 points of damage.
Come on! Oh. God damn it!
Third one is not the charm. Third time is not the charm. Nat 1 misses. And unfortunately, the sunbolt hits Wilhelm.
Sorry.
So roll a little bit of damage on that goat.
There we go.
So he takes 4 damage.
Started. Blah!
Yeah, there's a little whiff of smoke coming up from the fur on Wilhelm's
It's my
haunches.
hair, my hair.
You're bad. The wolf is dragging Wilhelm away. Uh, Wilhelm tries to struggle free again.
Come on, Wilhelm.
Finally, rolls a 15 after getting a sunbolt in the haunch. Spurs him to frantic action, and Wilhelm breaks free, and he starts to run back towards you. And you see, I don't know if you can move that far. I think you can only move 20 feet. And you see he breaks free, and you see the dire wolf and the bear and the half orc all kind of turn around and go, huh? In unison. And you see them all like their shoulders fall and they sigh and they're like, ah, we had to go get him again. Like they thought they were almost like ducking out of the way and getting out of sight. But now they have to go back and get the goat. So they all turn to face your direction again. Shaefira.
Um, well, I'm just gonna fire me. I'm gonna shoot me firebolt at the bear, see if I can set his fur on fire and make him run away.
Okay.
Maybe.
So firebolt that bear.
I haven't seen it come through. Oh, right, there we go.
15
It's a
hits the
hit.
bear. There's a burst of flame, and you see the first smoke, and there's singeing. He does not remain on fire, but you've left a scorch. A scorch worth 14 damage to that bear.
Yeah, super.
And the bear is looking bloodied and quite scorched. Bit wobbly on his bare legs. The half orc rushes forward and slashes at Kymir with his great axe. Whirling it about, he lands a nat 20.
Oh, crap.
And drops Kymir. And you see the half orc move, kind of rest his greatsword down a little bit and move till he's adjacent and flanking the goat who's trying to escape.
Can I just say that as Kymir drops, he's going to look at Wilhelm and go, "You podsy bastard, it's your fault."
The goat's just like, wah! The bear is in rough shape, but ambles forward trying to get the goat. And he bites the goat with his jaws, trying to grasp him. And he hits the goat with it. He grabs him. And let's see if Wilhelm stays free. Wilhelm stays free. He's like, not today, bear. And ducks out of the way. So the bear has failed to grab him. Kymir, make a death save.
Yay!
That's a success. Wolf runs back to the goat and tries to grab the goat. And he bites at the goat. Let's see if Wilhelm escapes again. Does not. So the same old wolf has Wilhelm grappled again. But the wolf's used up all his movement, so he can't drag him anywhere yet. And Wilhelm's turn, so he gets to try to escape again. And he does! And Wilhelm runs, leaps over Kymir's body, and runs towards Shaefira.
Kymir must just fuck her. Whilst unconscious.
Shaefira, it's your turn.
Chuck another firebolt at that wolf.
You hit that wolf with a 14. The wolf is looking quite burnt and bloodied.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's it.
The half-orc also moves around Kymir's body and tries to grab the goat. And he gets a grip on the goat. And Wilhelm is caught. Doesn't quite manage to wiggle free. The bear is just kind of like, okay, got the goat caught. We're going to run away again. So he kind of holds his ground. I say kind of, like, how do you kind of hold your ground? He holds his ground. Kymir, roll a death save again. That's a second success. You only need one more. I threw my pencil across the room.
What?
It was like over enthusiastic pencil throwing. The wolf sees that we got the goat caught again. It moves, but it moves to stand near the half orc to kind of like be ready. Wilhelm tries to escape. And he does!
Yay!
So Wilhelm breaks free and runs past Shaefira down the street toward the donkeys. Going bah as he goes. Shaefira, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to move up here. Have a stab at the half-orc.
All right, 26, you definitely hit him. You do 10 damage up front. I don't know if sneak attack is an effect when Kymir's unconscious.
I'm unconscious.
No, I don't think so.
So he fails, so he takes on the bleeding effect. And takes 2 additional damage, so he's taking 12 damage total from your attack.
And then
that one's smarts.
Disengage. And move away in between.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Guarding the goat.
Yeah, kinda.
The half orc, he runs forward and he's moving around you, but he's like ignoring you in favor of trying to get the goat. To get his goat. And he grabs at the goat successfully, but does Wilhelm escape? He does not escape. So he's got a hold of the goat again. And the bear's like, okay, I don't know whether I should move forward. I don't know if I should just wait here. So the bear tentatively moves forward a little bit. So it's near, but it's still far away. It's like, are we running away or not? Kymir, death save. All right, it's another success. So you are no longer dying, but you are
That's so much.
unconscious.
Okay.
The wolf also moves slightly forward, but sees that the goat is captured again, is expecting to be running away soon. Wilhelm tries to escape, and he fails to escape. It's Shaefira's turn.
Now I'll have another go at the orc.
Oh, and the orc takes a D4 again because of the bleeding,
Oh yeah, hang on a second.
and you hit him again.
So that's his D4.
So he takes an extra point of damage from the lingering bleeding effect, but then you stab him again. This time he takes 12 damage, and see if he gets another bleeding effect. This orc is looking bloodied now. He fails, so the bleeding
he gets
effect
another one.
continues.
Does he get another D4?
Yep.
And how about sneak attack? Is Wilhelm
Wilhelm is an ally, so he also takes sneak attack damage. So
Look at all
13
them
more
dice.
damage. So he's taken 25 damage total from your attacks this round. And he's still standing, but he's definitely bloodied.
27.
Like, he looks super not in good
20.
shape.
Excellent.
Everybody who's left trying to get hold of Wilhelm does not look particularly good.
Right, I'll stay here. Yeah.
But it seems like they're more concerned about serving Kelladek's will, than they are afraid of dying at your hands. At this point, oh, I forgot to roll. Let me roll and see if the orc lost his concentration and grip on Wilhelm. No, he rolled high enough. So he has one hand on Wilhelm, and he's got a great sword, but it's a two-handed weapon. So what he tries to do instead is bash at you with the pommel of it, Shaefira, instead of slashing at you, because that would take two hands. And he's a little bit occupied.
Would I be able to try and save it? No. Okay.
So he hits you with the pommel, and he does 4 bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay.
And the bear moves forward a little bit more, like not sure how this is going. Kymir, you're still unconscious?
So I can't really do it, can I?
No. The wolf is like snarling, kind of like grrr in place. Wilhelm tries to break free again, and he does. And he runs off towards the donkeys. Shaefira, it's your turn.
Okay. I'll have another bash at the orc.
And another D4 of damage off the top.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He takes 2 more damage, but he's still standing.
Bollocks.
13 misses.
I'm going to move.
Okay.
Save the donkeys.
Back to the donkey.
Thanks.
Sorry.
I know how Stiiv feels now. At least he didn't stand on me on the way past.
And you see, the half orc is kind of weaving down the street after you. He doesn't seem like he's his constitution isn't up to this, and he's taken a lot of blows and stabs. But he's determined to complete the job, and he lashes forward, grabbing for the goat again. And he manages to grab the goat. And Wilhelm is caught. Bah! Brown Bear kind of moves forward, but not he's not looking good either, so he doesn't make it very far. Kymir's just lying in the street at this point.
Yep.
Wolf is kind of slowly padding forward. Eyes on the goat. Wilhelm struggles trying to escape. And he doesn't. And Shaefira.
I'm gonna have to try with me stiletto again.
You hit him with a 14. So he takes 8 damage up front, and is he bleeding again?
Also, did he need to take bleeding first?
Sneak attack damage. The sneak attack damage drops him.
Excellent.
Let's go of the goat.
Nicely done.
Bah! Wilhelm is happy and free.
Oh.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Right. Okay, that's me.
Bear sees his half-orc companion drop, lets out a roar like "Arr!" but shambles forward, trying to get Wilhelm. And while he snaps and temporarily gets purchase on Wilhelm's scruff with his jaw. Oh yeah, Wilhelm is trapped again. Bah!
Goat is useless.
I rolled another 1 that time. I'm like, so many ones this weekend. Kymir resting in the street.
Just getting some sleep.
Wolf runs up snarling. And Wilhelm tries to get away. Succeeds. Hops up on the wagon and is sitting in the seat and like trying to get the reins for the wagon into his mouth so he can drive off.
Cheeky sod.
Cheeky little bastard. We'll get him.
Shaefira.
All right, yeah. So yeah, I'll just shout to the goat. If you piss off with our wagon and donkeys, dude, you're gonna be dead too. So just behave yourself.
Wilhelm notices that one of the donkeys is unconscious, so he like drops the reins out of his mouth.
Yeah. Good. Right, so I'll have a shot at the wolf, I guess. Oh, fucking hell.
You're lucky, so you can reroll.
Oh, true. Hey.
Woo! Turn that frown upside down. You stabbed a wolf. So you usually do 7 damage to him. Sneak attack does not take effect here because there's no allies flanking the wolf.
No, but he can. So he failed. He failed the save. Ugh.
Can you do 1 more point of damage to that wolf?
Now I'm just going to nip up onto the wagon as well next to Wilhelm just to make sure he doesn't run away.
Okay. The bear approaches the wagon and rears up and tries to slam the wagon. So make a dex save to see if you get knocked off. Okay, you hold on to the wagon. Wilhelm doesn't, and he falls off the side.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
He just tumbles over the side. Kymir in the street. The wolf tries to get Wilhelm. Manages to bite at him. And Wilhelm's caught again. So caught. But Shaefira, it's your turn again.
Right, okay. All right, I'll have another go at the bear.
You hit the bear and stab him, and the bear goes down.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, good lord. Right. That's it, I think.
The donkey, Dougie, seeing the wolf has the goat in its grip, the wolf is scary. Dougie rears up and tries to trample the wolf with his hooves because Dougie is scared. And tramples the wolf and tramples that last wolf to death.
See, I told you donkeys were security type things.
Yeah, but according to that, it was Bertruda the chicken. Which I find amazing.
So you fought off the thugs who are trying to seize Wilhelm, who worked for Wizard Keladak. And it will be up to next week for us to see how you might assist Wilhelm, or if you're going to tell him to get stuffed.
Can I give Chimera taste the bacon?
We'll assume that there's enough time that you guys have had a short rest at least before we
Oh, cool.
All
Yeah,
right.
that.
next week. So you can give
So does
him
that mean I
tasty
can do a-
bacon, and you can heal yourself with hit dice.
Right.
All the bacon you want, all the hit dice you want to spend out of your 5.
Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I have to wait till she's made me conscious again. Yeah.
Take the unconscious off of you. Oh, it's off. Okay, cool.
Bloody hell.
A donkey's conscious too. I'm going to give Donkey and Wilhelm back their hit points.
Feeling we should have nicked all the tasty bacon since what's his face was up in the attic. I'm going to leave it there.
What I'll say is that you've meandered back home with your new wagon and your donkeys and Wilhelm. So you're back at the house. So you can get bacon if you need bacon. And we'll start back at your house again for any planning to what you're going to do next in this situation at your home base next session.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yep.
Whee!
Cool.
I thought I'd made that combat easier, but I didn't quite make it easier. Yes.
Fine. Shaefira saves me bacon.
Right there.
I do like how you're tying in the Hangover gang with this, though. It's really cool.
And honestly, this is actually based off of an adventure that I got through the Dungeon Masters Guild, which I guess I'll put a link in when I put it up on YouTube because I can't remember who wrote it off the top of my head. But as I read it, I thought, Wilhelm is totally the type of person who would get himself turned into a goat.
Yeah.
This is totally the kind of
So
hijinks.
true.
Yeah.
And considering that the hangover people, their timeline is a little bit, when you did those adventures, the timeline is a little bit ahead of where you are in Saltmarsh. That this is kind of like that time period before they ever went to Vas Vegas and got into shenanigans. So, somewhere all those people are roaming around Corvair at level 4 and haven't been to Vas Vegas yet.
Very cool.
Well, that was
Right.
pretty good, and
Yeah.
you did very well considering there's 2 of you
Yeah.
taking on these
And
challenges.
one was unconscious for about 10 rounds.
Mhm.
Well, I did decent damage while I was conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt
Yeah.
I didn't quite tweak them enough in terms of how much damage the creatures did. I thought I adjusted difficulty enough, but they shouldn't have been able to drop you so fast.
Well, at
Oh,
least
it's
Shaefira
alright.
saved.
But you still persevered and won, and you rolled your death saves very well.
That's true. That makes
As
a nice
did-
change.
As did Donkey. I'm so proud of Donkey.
Donkey.
Donkey's level 2 now.
Oh, that means he's a proper security
Give
donkey
Donkey
now.
some more hit
Yep,
points. 'Cause
absolutely.
he's
He
done
can
very
get
well
some.
today.
He can get his booking skill upgraded.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks ever so much, Bonnie.
Alrighty.
Yes, thank
We'll
you.
try for next
That was
week.
great.
Yep.
All right
See
then.
ya.
Alright, bye bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
You too.
Bye, Steve.